Welcome to the Living Simpler podcast. I am Amy Mewborn, and I am so glad you are here today. If you are a woman between 30 and 65 who feels like her body is fighting her, this episode is for you. You are eating well, you are trying to exercise, you are taking your supplements, and yet you are still exhausted, still gaining weight, still waking up at 3 in the morning, still feeling inflamed and foggy, and just not yourself. What if I told you that the timing of almost everything you do matters just as much as what you are doing? That is what circadian biology is all about. And today I'm going to walk you through 7 simple shifts that work with your body's natural clock so that your hormones, your metabolism, your sleep, and your energy can finally start working for you instead of against you. After my autoimmune diagnosis, I have done everything I can find to heal as naturally as possible. One of the keys that has helped me feel so much better over the past couple of years has been a consistent bedtime and wake-up time. Imagine my surprise when I learned that there is a complete science around this called circadian biology. I now praise the effects of a consistent sleep schedule. And today I want to take it a step further. I have done a deep dive into the research on this one, and what I found is both eye-opening and incredibly practical. Let's get into it. Before we get to the 7 shifts, I want you to understand one simple idea. Your body runs on a 24-hour internal clock. Every single cell in your body has a clock gene. Your liver has a clock, your gut has a clock, your adrenal glands have a clock, your skin even has a clock. This is not a metaphor. This is literal biology. Researchers call it the circadian system, and it coordinates almost every process in your body, including when you burn fat, when you release cortisol, when you produce melatonin, when your digestion is most active, and when your immune system does its repair work. When these clocks are aligned, you feel energized, clear-headed, and in a healthy weight range. When they are out of sync, which happens to millions of women, especially in perimenopause and menopause, everything starts to feel broken. Research published in the Journal of Biological Rhythms confirms that circadian disruption is linked to metabolic disease, hormonal imbalance, and poor health outcomes across every body system. The good news is that you can reset your clock, and it starts with 7 very simple daily habits. Tip number 1, get sunlight in your eyes within 30 minutes of waking. Here is why this matters. Your body clock is anchored to light. There is a tiny region in your brain called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, and it is the master timekeeper for your entire body. It takes its cue almost entirely from light. When you see natural light first thing in the morning, especially sunlight, it sends a signal that sets the timing for every hormone release that will happen for the rest of your day. It tells your cortisol to peak at the right time. It tells your melatonin to shut off. It tells your metabolism to start moving. What most women do instead is wake up, scroll their phone, stumble to the kitchen under artificial lights, and never step outside until mid-morning, or sometimes not at all. That keeps your body clock stuck in a confused state. A systematic review published in Chronobiology International found that light exposure in the morning helps advance the circadian phase of melatonin in a way that supports healthier sleep onset in the evening. In other words, your morning light directly affects how well you sleep that night. Here is what I do and what I want you to do. Within 30 minutes of waking, go outside. You do not need sunglasses. You do not need it to be a sunny day. Even cloudy natural light is 10 to 50 times brighter than indoor lighting. Stand outside for 5 to 10 minutes. Let the light hit your eyes. Walk around the block if you want. Just get outside. That is it. This one habit alone can begin to reset your cortisol rhythm, your melatonin timing, and your energy levels within just a few days. Tomorrow morning, before coffee, before your phone, open your front door and step outside for 5 minutes. That is all it takes to start. Tip number 2, stop eating after dark. This one is going to surprise a lot of you because we have been told for years that it is about what you eat, not when, but the research is very clear. When you eat matters enormously to your metabolism and your hormones. Your body is designed to digest and process food during daylight hours. When you eat late at night, your digestive system is not prepared for it. Your insulin sensitivity is lower in the evening. Your body temperature has dropped. Your metabolism has slowed. Eating late does not just add calories. It sends a signal to your peripheral clocks, especially in your liver and gut, that it is daytime when it is not. That creates what researchers call circadian misalignment, and it is one of the most under-recognized drivers of weight gain, insulin resistance, and inflammation. A controlled study published in Current Biology compared an 8-week daytime eating schedule to an 8-week delayed eating schedule with the same exact calories. Daytime eating led to weight loss, improved insulin resistance, and lower fasting glucose, while the delayed eating schedule increased triglycerides and worsened insulin resistance. Same food, different timing, very different outcomes. What most women do is eat a light breakfast, a moderate lunch, and then their biggest meal of the day at 7 or 8 at night. Some are snacking right up until bedtime. That pattern tells your body to store fat, disrupt sleep, and keep inflammation elevated. What to do instead is aim to eat your last meal or snack before 7 in the evening, if possible. Ideally, your eating window stays between about 8 in the morning and 6 or 7 at night. A review in Critical Reviews in Food Science and Nutrition found that time-restricted eating aligned with daytime hours is associated with sustained weight loss, improved insulin sensitivity, and reduced blood pressure, with benefits that compound over time. Think of your evening as the repair and restore window, not the eating window. Let your body do its job. Tonight, aim to finish your last meal or snack by 7 just one night. See how you sleep and how your energy is the next morning. Tip number 3, protect your cortisol awakening response. This one is not talked about enough, and it is especially important for women in perimenopause and menopause. Every morning, within the first 30 to 45 minutes after you wake up, your cortisol should spike. This is called the cortisol awakening response, and it is a normal, healthy, and necessary part of your circadian biology. This cortisol spike is what mobilizes energy, activates your immune system, sharpens your cognition, and gives you that get up and go feeling. The problem is that when your circadian rhythm is disrupted, your cortisol awakening response becomes blunted or dysregulated. Research published in PLOS 1 studied menopausal women and found that sleep quality and obesity significantly affect the cortisol awakening response, with poor sleep and higher body weight being associated with disrupted morning cortisol patterns. A separate study published in the International Journal of Psychophysiology found that higher cortisol awakening responses were associated with better physical and mental health quality of life in older adults. What most women do is hit snooze multiple times, drag themselves out of bed after fragmented sleep, reach for caffeine before their body has had a chance to naturally activate, and then wonder why they feel groggy and low energy all morning. Snoozing multiple times actually disrupts the cortisol awakening response by confusing your brain about whether you are waking up or going back to sleep. What to do instead is set one alarm, get up when it goes off, get your sunlight within 30 minutes, and here's a big one. Delay your caffeine by 60 to 90 minutes after waking. Your cortisol naturally peaks in that first window. If you drink coffee right away, you are layering caffeine on top of cortisol and then crashing when both drop together. Wait until that first cortisol peak begins to come down, usually around 90 minutes after waking, and then have your coffee. You will feel steadier energy all day long. I do this myself. I wake up, I get outside, I drink water, I do a short morning routine, and then I have my coffee. It felt strange at first, but the difference in my energy and my focus throughout the day was real and noticeable within the first week. Tip number 4, dim your lights and ditch the screens after sunset. Your brain is waiting for darkness every evening. When darkness falls, your pineal gland starts producing melatonin. Melatonin is not just a sleep hormone, it is a powerful antioxidant. It regulates inflammation, it plays a role in immune function, and in women, it interacts with estrogen and progesterone in ways that matter deeply for hormonal health. Here is the problem: we are bathing ourselves in artificial light every evening. Overhead lights, televisions, laptops, phones, all of that light, especially blue light, tells your brain it is still daytime and suppresses melatonin production. A systematic review of light's impact on circadian rhythm found that 2 hours of blue light exposure in the evening measurably suppresses melatonin, and that even low light levels at night can trigger a circadian response. Research also found that bright light exposure before bedtime impaired frontal lobe function and cognitive performance the following morning, meaning that late screen time does not just hurt your sleep, it actually affects how sharp you are the next day. And for perimenopausal and postmenopausal women specifically, a study published in the journal Menopause found that delayed melatonin rhythms were significantly associated with depression. And that morning light combined with corrected sleep timing improved mood by 70% within 2 to 8 weeks. That is a 70% improvement in mood by fixing the light timing without medication. What most women do is watch television until 10 or 11 at night, scroll social media in bed, and then wonder why they cannot fall asleep or stay asleep, why they wake at 3 in the morning, and why they feel anxious in the evenings. What to do instead is start dimming your lights after 7 in the evening. Switch to lamps instead of overhead lights. Use blue light blocking glasses if you watch television at night. Put your phone in another room by 9. Create a 30-minute wind-down routine that your body can count on. Your melatonin will rise on schedule, your sleep will deepen, and your mood, hormones, and metabolism will all benefit. Tonight, turn off your overhead lights after dinner. Use a lamp or two. See if you feel sleepier earlier than usual. That is your melatonin doing exactly what it is supposed to do. Tip number 5, eat your biggest meal earlier in the day. This connects to tip 2 but goes deeper. It is not just about when you stop eating. It is about how you distribute your calories across the day. Your body is most metabolically active in the morning and early afternoon. Your insulin sensitivity is highest. Your digestive enzymes are most active. Your gut microbiome is primed for processing nutrients. Most women eat in reverse, a small breakfast or no breakfast at all, a moderate lunch, and then a massive dinner. From a circadian biology standpoint, that is the exact opposite of what your body is designed to do. A meta-analysis published in iScience reviewed time-restricted eating research and found that eating aligned with daytime hours improved fasting glucose, fasting insulin, fat mass, and waist circumference, with greater benefits seen when eating windows were shifted earlier in the day. A separate review on intermittent fasting and circadian hormones noted that when you eat directly shapes your hormonal environment for the rest of the day. What most women are doing wrong is skipping breakfast because they are not hungry in the morning, often because they ate too late the night before, and their metabolism is still sluggish from poor sleep. Then they spend the day under fueling and end up ravenous by evening. What to do instead is flip your plate, make breakfast or lunch your biggest, most nutrient-dense meal. Front load your protein and healthy fats earlier in the day. Keep dinner lighter. Your metabolism will work more efficiently, your blood sugar will be more stable, and your sleep will improve because your digestive system will not be in full activation mode when you're trying to rest. Tip number 6, move your body with the clock, not against it. Exercise is one of the most powerful tools you have for resetting your circadian rhythm. But when you exercise matters, and very few people talk about this. Morning and early afternoon exercise reinforces your circadian rhythm. It raises cortisol in a healthy, appropriate way. It increases body temperature, which your clock uses as a timing signal. It improves insulin sensitivity for the hours that follow. And it reinforces the sleep pressure that builds throughout the day so you feel genuinely tired at bedtime. A review on the interactions between fasting, exercise, and circadian rhythm found that aligning exercise with the biological morning is most consistent with healthy circadian function. Research published in Cell Metabolism further confirmed that the timing of physical activity functions as an extrinsic factor that modifies your metabolic response. What most women do is wait until the evening to exercise because that is when they have time. A 7 in the evening workout, an 8 at night spin class. That raises your cortisol and body temperature at the wrong time, delays melatonin production, and makes it harder to fall asleep and stay asleep. What to do instead is try to move your body before noon at least 4 days a week. Even a 20-minute walk outside in the morning counts. The combination of light exposure and movement in that first half of the day is one of the most powerful circadian reset tools available to you. If evening is your only option, choose lower intensity movement like yoga, walking, or stretching, and finish at least 2 hours before bed. Tip number 7, be consistent about your sleep and wake times, even on weekends. This is the one that everyone resists the most, and it is the one that makes everything else work. Your body does not have a weekend setting, it runs on a clock, and that clock is calibrated by consistency. When you wake up at 6 in the morning all week and then sleep until 9 on Saturday and Sunday, you create what researchers call social jet lag. Your body has to readjust its internal timing every single Monday the same way it adjusts after crossing multiple time zones. That adjustment costs you energy, disrupts your hormones, and undermines every other healthy habit you have built during the week. Research on circadian misalignment and metabolic disease found that irregular sleep and wake timing, especially combined with artificial light exposure at night, is one of the key mechanisms linking disrupted circadian rhythm to metabolic syndrome and hormonal dysfunction. The central clock and the peripheral clocks in your organs become desynchronized, and that internal desynchrony is a driver of inflammation, weight gain, and hormonal imbalance. What most women do is try to catch up on sleep on weekends. Sleep debt is real, and the impulse to recover it makes complete sense. But sleeping in on weekends does not truly pay back sleep debt in a way that serves your health. It mostly just shifts your clock later and makes the next week harder. What to do instead is commit to a consistent wake time 7 days a week. It does not have to be 5 in the morning. It can be 7. It can be 7:30. Pick a time you can stick to every day and hold it. Go to bed within about 30 minutes of the same time each night as well. Over a period of 2 to 4 weeks, your body will begin to synchronize beautifully. Your cortisol will peak at the right time. Your melatonin will rise at the right time. Your metabolism, your mood, your energy, and your sleep will all improve. I will be honest with you, this was the hardest one for me personally. I love a slow morning on the weekend, but when I started keeping a consistent wake time, the change in how I felt by the following Thursday and Friday was remarkable. I was not dragging. I was not hitting a midweek wall. The consistency was the thing. Let me do a quick recap, and then I want to give you a simple action plan before you go. The 7 shifts are these. 1, get sunlight in your eyes within 30 minutes of waking. 2, stop eating after dark and protect your evening as a rest and repair window. 3, protect your cortisol awakening response by getting up when your alarm goes off, getting outside for light, and delaying caffeine 60 to 90 minutes. 4, dim your lights and ditch screens after sunset to allow melatonin to rise naturally. 5, eat your biggest meal earlier in the day to match your metabolic peak. 6, move your body in the morning or early afternoon to reinforce your clock and build your sleep drive. 7, keep a consistent sleep and wake time every single day, including weekends. 7 shifts. Most of them cost you nothing. All of them are backed by research, and every single one of them works with your biology instead of against it. Here is your action plan. Today, pick one, just one. The easiest one for you to start with. I would recommend morning sunlight because it is fast, it is free, and it sets everything else in motion. Go outside tomorrow morning within 30 minutes of waking. No sunglasses, 5 to 10 minutes. That is your starting point. This week, layer in 2 or 3 more. Add a consistent wake time. Move your last meal earlier by 1 hour. Begin dimming your lights after dinner. None of these require spending money. None of them require a perfect schedule. They just require a little bit of intention and structure. Over the next 30 days, build consistency with all 7. Give your body 4 full weeks of aligned habits, and I promise you will feel the difference. Your sleep will deepen, your energy will stabilize, your mood will lift, your weight may begin to shift even if you have not changed a single thing you are eating. That is the power of circadian biology. If you want support going deeper with this, the Living Simpler Collective is the place to do it. We go into all of this in much greater detail inside the membership, including how to layer in hormone support, how to troubleshoot your sleep, and how to build a lifestyle that actually works for your biology at this stage of life. You can find the link in the show notes or send me a DM on Instagram at Amy Mewborn, and I will point you in the right direction. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. This stuff matters. Your body is not broken. It is just waiting for the right signals. Start with the morning sunlight tomorrow and let me know how it goes. I will see you in the next episode.